Welcome to the Let's Talk Food podcast, where we have deep conversations about anything and everything surrounding with food. I'm your host, April Fontenot. And tonight, guys, I'm so excited. If you're listening audio only, guys, I'm doing a virtual show tonight as well. So you'll be able to check it out on my YouTube channel. But you have tuned in to the best podcast in the land, not the wrong podcast, but the best podcast where we love on one another and support one another. And you've tuned in to a community of like-minded folk, from food lovers, art lovers, science lovers, health junkies, entrepreneurs, you name it, guys. The Let's Talk Food podcast is where it's at. And if you're a new listener, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. So welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. And if you are tuning in from anywhere other than the United States, thank you so much again for tuning in, as I have listeners all over, guys, and I'm so forever grateful for you guys. But welcome to the show. I have a great show for you tonight. But yeah, guys, how has your week been? Oh gosh, guys, my week has been crazy. And I know last episode we discussed the 47 fanciful foods for the 4th of July festivities. But my 4th of July, it was great, guys. We did not too much. I made some great food. And oh gosh, guys, after the 4th, I also did a peach cobbler. Oh my God, when I tell you it was so amazing and so good. Ooh, scrumptious, I tell you. Something new tonight, guys. And I'm going to hop back to that. This is my very first virtual show. And if you have been a faithful listener and tuning in, you know that it took a lot of courage for me to do this. I don't normally like to hop on camera, but I was like, you know what? This is about to be the end of season 2, and I want to go out with a bang, okay? And before we get into our topic tonight, guys, we have some very traumatic events that have been happening since 48 hours, I would say, or so. In Texas, guys, I'm in Houston, Texas, and if you are tuning in from anywhere other than the United States, I don't know if they're doing this on national news or not, but there was a traumatic weather event that happened in Hill Country. And if you're not from the States, where that is, if you've ever heard of Austin, Texas, or San Antonio. So in between that area, it's in Kerr, Texas. I believe it's Kerr. Oh my gosh, guys, there is major flooding and heavy rain. And according to the news sources, they're saying that this area was in a drought, guys. Drought, hadn't had rain in months. So not quite understanding what's happening, but they're saying that because of the drought and the heavy rain, the soil picked everything up so quickly, right? Sad news, guys. This one story that, and it's a lot of people that are affected, but the one story that touched me, there's a Camp Mystic, and this is for young girls that go there, I guess, for the summer every year. Gosh, those poor babies, guys, they were swept away by the storm and the weather, and there's still some girls missing, and their families are looking for them. And the sad part is, they don't know where they are. And another fact about that, some of them are from where I'm residing right now in Houston, Texas. So a lot of the families, my heart goes out to them, and I can just imagine the trauma and the pain and the anxiety that they have right now and what they're going through. But isn't that very scary, guys? I can feel their pain, but I can't imagine being without my kids. I have small children as well. And new listeners, if you're tuning in, a little background about me: I'm an artistic chef. I'm a mother of 4, and I have a bonus son. And the ages of the children are 14, 14, 4, 4, and 2, right? So have kids. And this really touched me because I have a family and I have children. And oh man, when I think about how those babies are missing, just think about the water and what's coming so fast, and the currents and the debris and everything. And oh man, I mean, I just don't want to think about it. I was like, I don't want to watch it because it's so depressing. And I know it's life, guys, and I know I have to stay in touch with reality, but sometimes I feel like we still need to keep our joy. If you're looking at CNN or glued to your phones or TV sets, you're not going to have any joy. And I always say God Almighty has the final say. He is the way maker. And yes, I should not be naive to the fact that there are some worldly things going on. So yeah, that's, in the news. But another sad story about that, guys, I saw on Facebook today. Oh gosh, guys, it was another sad story where husband and his wife and kids, same thing in the same devastating flood. Read in the story, and I didn't really get to see the news on it, but it stated that I think he had been out in the weather for quite some time. They were trapped in, I don't know if it was their vehicle or car. And to rescue his family, he used his arms, what they were saying, I guess to keep them from drowning. He had to figure out a way to save all of them, and he ended up losing his life, guys. Isn't that so tragic and so sad? But I think his arm was cut off, or a limb or something cut off, it said, where he couldn't move, but he saved his family. And the last words his wife heard was, "I'm not going to make it. I love you guys." Oh man, when I tell you, that really touched my heart, my soul. And if you're married, or if you have a father, significant other, you understand, where I'm coming from. I'm married with children, and if me and their dad were in some type of traumatic, you know, event like that, and just to have them near and say that to you, pretty heartbreaking, right? So yeah, so that's what's going on in Texas right now. Pretty sad. 4th of July was different. We had everybody popping the fireworks, had a great time. The lights, my kids were being kids, and my eldest baby boy Richard, he's about to be 5, so I think he was hip to what was going on, but the other kids are like, yeah, not so much. But where I'm going with this guy, in the midst of all that, we were able to appreciate each other. And, you never know when it's going to be your last day, or something traumatic like that will happen. So always be thankful for your friends, your family. Don't complain, because there's so much out there. And I try to tell my family, my husband, everybody that's seems like they're not so grateful all the time. And I get it. We have some men out here that are providers, like my husband. I do my thing to new listeners. And if you don't know, I have a food delivery and catering service here in Houston, a Coopie, Coopies, American Cuisine and Seafood. So I have that going on. In the midst of that, guys, I am a mom, like I said. So I do have to help out with family. And, it gets tough. Our spouses, and if it was the other way around, it would be tough on me, tough on him. I find that sometimes you can get so caught up into what you're doing and your work, or whatever you have going on, that you're out of touch with reality. And when I say that, not in a sense where you're delusional, but more so you're not thinking about, oh, there's other people out there that are less fortunate or went through that traumatic event like that's happening right now. So I always like to think, let's be mindful of that. Let's be grateful for what we have. And I know people are like, oh, that's easy for you to say because you have your husband and this and that. And I know friends and family that they're not married, so always hear that all the time. But I'm like, even though I do have a husband or spouse, I mean, we have tough times too, guys. It's not always hunky dory or happy go lucky. So just remember that, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to touch base on that. But traumatic events happening. I had a great 4th, cooked some really great food. This time I did another barbecue dinner, and we had black eyed peas with tomato, the rotel in it. I also had ranch style beans and barbecue sauce. I sauteed some onion and garlic with that. Did the great peach cobbler. But I'm not one to bake, guys, so I was really excited about that. I did an easy peach cobbler, by the way. It wasn't like the one where you put extra things in it, but I found it pretty fun. New listeners, I'm more so of an American diner, seafood, soul food catering service, so I don't normally do baking. So this is like a big deal for me, right? But check it out, guys. And I'll leave those social handles before the end of the show tonight, where you can go check it out. I posted the peach cobbler just to give you a look at my work. And you can also check me out there on everything. And before this virtual episode, guys, I think I've done 37 or 38 episodes already. So those are all audio. You can definitely tune in on all the platforms out there, from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, radio, just to name a few. Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, I am there. But it's going to be all audio. This is the first virtual, right? Some great meal there. Like I said, we had barbecue chicken, black eyed peas, the ranch style beans. I also did the French style green beans. Also, guys, speaking of that, I had a guest speaker that was on my show, Melissa Niffick. And I don't know if this lady, I think her name was Laura or something, she sent me some samples of her challenge butter cubes, and they come in these 4-ounce packs. There's 8 of them in a pack, and when I tell you guys, I have been using that for my meals, and it is the best butter ever. So I've been using that. So I put that in my sides, and I also use it sometime to melt. If you don't have oil, you can use the butter, but use that with the peach cobbler, and it turned out amazing. The food was oh so delicious. So yeah, I did that, and of course I had to have my vanilla bean ice cream on top. So that was my meal. We saw the lights, we did the show, but after this traumatic events, and new listeners, I don't like to get into politics. So I know a lot of people are a little bummed and depressed by that with all the cuts and everything. So I don't really get into politics, but I did want to speak on the traumatic events that is still happening where they're searching for the little girls and other people that have been swept by the water. And also, new listeners, I am a movie buff and a reality TV buff. So I had a movie that I caught, and new listeners, faithful listeners know some of the movies I choose are kind of cheesy, but I always like to look at movies on Amazon Prime and Netflix, all the platforms out there. So lately, Amazon Prime's has been having some really good stuff, and Netflix. But this movie, guys, is Lucky Girl, and the star in the movie is Latoya Luckett. If you're not familiar with her, she was in the group Destiny Child, which she long ago stopped being a member, but she's doing her thing. She's a music artist, and she's doing a lot of acting lately. So she's in this movie Lucky Girl, and it's a funny movie, and it's some other great actresses. I don't know if you remember that show, The Rock, guys, that used to come on. I think it was like early 90s, 2000. Well, the girlfriend or wife of The Rock, she's the mom, and I forget her name, guys. They call her Eleanor in the show. She's in the movie. And if you remember My Wife and Kids, that show with Tisha Campbell and Damon Wayans, there is the daughter, the baby girl. She's all grown up now, guys. She looks amazing, but she's in the movie as well. And there's some other great artists and actresses and actors in it too. But check it out, Lucky Girl on Amazon Prime, guys. So I checked that out. And then some other movies and shows that I watched, but because of all the things that's happening in the news and everything, I didn't get a chance to do my homework like last episode, so I didn't quite take any notes. But yeah, I've been catching up on the movies. um, Everything has been a-okay with that. But how was your week, guys? I hope that it's been going great. And like I said last episode, I want to, guys, get on those platforms. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Feedback on the show, things you think that I could add or improve on. New listeners, I have only been doing this, and I think I said the wrong amount of months on one of my, I looked at the time frame. It's been about 6 months. So I'm a newbie to this, guys. I've been doing this show for about 6 months now. Like I said, it's been all audio, but this is the very first virtual show. But I think I'm feeling very comfortable now. Tonight, guys, we have our episode is Comfort on a Plate, Foods That Fight Stress and Anxiety. So I thought this would be a great topic because of everything that's going on with the media and the news, the traumatic events. I mean, what better way to calm that stress and anxiety with this topic, right? And we're reading from health.com, guys. So, new listeners, I always like to reference the articles that I'm reading from if I am doing this show solo. And when I have my guest speakers on the show, they're speaking of their topics and we go into different things, whatever that may be. But when I'm doing the solo shows, I always like to use articles, things that's trending in food, right? So get your notebook, your pen and paper, your computers, whatever you're using, guys, and www.health.com is where we're reading from. Now, the title of the article, guys, 14 Foods and Drinks That Reduce Anxiety Fast. Now, when I hopped into this, the title changed a little bit, so I don't know if there was like a mishap or what have you, but it's titled, Which Foods and Drinks Help Reduce Anxiety, right? So open that up, guys, if you have your notebooks, your pen and paper, and let's get right to it. So, what you eat and drink may help relieve stress and anxiety. And foods that may help reduce anxiety include avocados, eggs, oranges, among others, guys. So, some teas, juices, and water are drink options to try. So, you might want to avoid or limit foods and drinks that could worsen stress and anxiety, such as those high in sugar and fat. So, different antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins can help ease anxiety symptoms, right? So, for example, vitamin C, which we all need, right? And for me, guys, funny thing, I'm a little opposite. And this is a little off topic, but I always need vitamin D because I stay in so much. I get really pale and I feel sickly. So on top of that, I notice if I drink anything with caffeine, like Cokes or you can say Pepsi or anything that's sugary or high in caffeine. I have the worst nerves and I can't sit still and I just feel a little paranoid. I know it's kind of weird, but some people do actually experience that on top of being sleep deprived like me. I have the house full of kids and I have a lot going on. So yeah, a lot going on. So yeah, definitely vitamin D for sure for me, but vitamin C is an antioxidant in oranges that helps reduce stress levels. So that's good to know, right? And then anxiety causes intense fear and panic. And it affects about 19% of people in the United States per year. So consider talking to a mental health care provider, it says, who can offer you guidance and treatment options if you have a hard time managing symptoms at home. Okay. So first one here, guys, is avocados. Ooh, no, I love avocados. When I read this list, it makes me feel so good that I'm already eating and using those antioxidants and the foods to help relieve the anxiety and stress, right? And I'm sure most of you are as well. But that's number one. And consuming regular portions of avocado might help with anxiety due to its vitamin B content. Research has linked B vitamin rich foods to reduce symptoms and lower feelings of stress and anxiety. So, one medium avocado has several B vitamins, including folate, niacin, and folate is B9, niacin is B3, pantothenic acid is B5. Riboflavin is B2 and vitamin B6, guys. So, yeah, avocado has a lot. Very, very good one there. Next one is blueberries. Ooh, no, I love blueberries. Never was a fan of blueberries until I'd say recently. And when I tell you guys, I've been making blueberry muffins. I like to eat the blueberries raw, but they are absolutely correct. It definitely helps fight that stress and anxiety. But with eating blueberries, guys, it can be helpful for stress. They're rich in antioxidants, which help delay and prevent cell damage. Okay. So a study published in 2019 found that in postmenopausal people, increased dietary antioxidants lowered anxiety scores. And that is really good information, right? All right. So our next one is calcium rich foods. Now, I like this. Artwork and the photo here. If you're looking on, doesn't that look great with the glass pitcher and you have your butter and your cheeses? Really, really great artwork. Well, it says a study published in 2022 found that increasing your calcium intake may be helpful for your mood, right? Calcium rich foods include vegetables like spinach and kale and dairy products like milk and yogurt. The researchers received data from 1,233 college students and they found that those who ate more dairy and calcium were less stressed than others. That makes a lot of sense. And now this one is a new for me because I had no idea that calcium and dairy products help relieve stress. Huh, very interesting. And they also noted that increased calcium intake often resulted in less anxious feelings and more resilience. So great facts on that, guys. All right, next one on the list is eggs. Yummy, yummy eggs. And a lot of us, what? We eat them for breakfast, or if you're having breakfast for dinner or lunch. Now, the interesting thing about the eggs, it says anxiety symptoms depend on hormones, guys. So, like serotonin and dopamine within your central nervous system, egg yolks contain vitamin D, which can aid in nervous system function, right? Some evidence suggests that increased vitamin D levels reduce anxiety and depression symptoms. This is really great news. And actually, I didn't know that, guys. And I don't know if some of you are like, You're like, well, this is something, this is good information, and this is something I didn't know. So don't judge me, guys, like I always say. All right, next one, number 5 is leafy greens. This looks like some kale, I'm sure. A study published in 2018 found that college students felt calmer and happier and more energetic when they ate more vegetables such as dark leafy greens, carrots, and cucumbers. Now, it's unclear whether upbeat thoughts or healthy eating came first. Still, the researchers found that healthy eating patterns seem to predict a positive mood the next day. So, I love my greens. I love salads. I love kale. Spinach is my favorite. That's the number one green veggie for me, guys. I don't know what your favorite is, but spinach for me all types of ways, whether it's in salad or if I saute it, steam it, whatever. But yeah, anyway, I always got to put my 2 cents, right? All right, so next one here, nuts and seeds. Okay. Now I kind of familiar with that, and I'll tell you guys, I love cashews. I like peanuts. Anything that's like a mix, I always like to eat it. And I've noticed that when I do eat those type of nuts and seed mix, I feel a lot better. I don't know about you, but yeah, it says research has linked zinc deficiency to anxiety. A 1 ounce portion of raw cashews has 1.6 milligrams of zinc, which is about 14% to 20% of the recommended amount of zinc for adults. So, some evidence suggests that magnesium also helps improve mood and anxiety symptoms. Chia seeds and pumpkin seeds are sources of magnesium. Whew, that makes me feel great. I don't know about you guys, but this is some really good stuff. And if you don't know, now you know, right? So, I hope you're taking notes. And guys, if you're not able to hop on those sites, like I always say, I will put all of this in the show notes. Do not worry, where you can go back and reference everything that I spoke about tonight. I'm pretty good about that, where I put everything in the show notes. So any platform you're listening on, when you go to the show notes, you'll have all the links for everything that you need, right? All right, so number 7, guys, is oranges. Now, I love oranges, and everyone in the home does. So this is, like they said, vitamin C. This is great, right? And that photo looks amazing. One medium-sized navel orange provides over half of the recommended dietary allowance, guys, of vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, right? Research has shown that vitamin C plays a role in the body's stress response and improves your mood. So, yeah, that's pretty good to go. This one was short and sweet, not much information, but you get the point, right? All right, number 8, we have oysters. Now, the oysters, and if you are a faithful listener, you know that I'm not a fan of oysters. New listeners, I've had a few episodes where I've expressed where I do not desire to eat oysters, but there was, I think it was on a show that I've been watching called Eat Street, which is on Amazon Prime as well. Check it out. But they have like local food trucks all over nationwide, but this one food truck I believe is in the States. And what they do, guys, they I think they like fry the oysters or dress them up with different things. And when I tell you guys, it looks so delicious, and it's making me change my thoughts. Okay. But if I have it that way, I might be interested. But other than that, I've never desired, I don't care. I just never desired to eat oysters. It is also an aphrodisiac, an aphrodisiac for love, which you know, right? But yeah, it says that oysters contain more zinc per serving than any other food, and you'll get 32 milligrams of zinc per 3 ounces of royal oysters, which is 291% of your RDA. Okay. All right. Next one is salmon, guys. I love salmon. Now, if you are a faithful listener, and you've been now faithful virtual, right? Attendee, you know that I love salmon, guys, and I always make salmon dishes. I haven't been making them lately and haven't been posting much content, new listeners, because I've been pretty busy with a lot of things, competitions and doing things with the kids and just life, life periods. Salmon is one of the dishes that I make quite often. Yeah, so stress can increase levels of anxiety hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. Salmon contains omega-3 fatty acids, guys, which is we know is great, right? It helps reduce those hormone levels. For example, research has found that omega-3s reduce cortisol levels by up to 33%. So, of course, your cortisol level is what? Where you get the stress and anxiety. So, again, this is another great food that I eat. And so far, everything on the list besides the oysters, I'm good to go, guys. What about you? Are you checking off a lot of these on your list you already eat, right? And some of them are surprising, I'll tell you, but most of them, no, not for me. Now, this next one is because I eat it a lot, but didn't know it had anything to do with reducing stress and anxiety. Aha. Next one is number 10, and it's turkey breast. Ooh, a good turkey breast sandwich, guys. You can't go wrong with that, right? So, turkey is a source of tryptophan, an amino acid that helps produce serotonin. On its own, tryptophan may have a calming effect. A study published in 2015 found that high doses of tryptophan resulted in significantly fewer anxiety and depression symptoms and reduced irritability. So, it makes sense. Like when you're sick or feeling down, they always say, hey, have a turkey sandwich with soup, right? So that is really awesome, right? And the photo looks great. I like how it's the turkey they have looks like from the deli. I don't know if most of you or some of you out there, for me, I love going to the deli, like fresh meat and fresh cheeses. And that's what the photo looks like if you're not able to look at it now, guys. But great chunk of nice turkey. And it looks like they have some rolls in the back. And this more so looks like a festive, I want to say Thanksgiving photo, maybe, because I see some ham or Christmas, looks really good. But the buttered buns and rolls in the back. But yeah, you can't go wrong with that, guys. So turkey is number 10. Now, number 11 is chamomile tea. And I love the artwork on this one. That beautiful glass. It's just so small and kind of reminds me of, and it looks like they have sunflowers and like lilies in the back. This little glass, I don't know, for some reason, guys, and I know new listeners sometimes I get off topic, but kind of reminds me of the Three Bears. It just looks all fancy and cozy, like someone just sat it there and, it's like, oh, that's my cup of tea instead of my porridge, right? But it looks great. It looks really hot and the photo is awesome. But a cup of chamomile tea could help you relax, right? Chamomile has flavonoids, which are antioxidants that might have anti-anxiety properties. So research has found that long-term chamomile use for several weeks might reduce generalized anxiety disorder symptoms, guys. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of us drink chamomile tea to relieve, maybe if you have a sore throat or you're sick or you just want to, like it says, reduce stress or just relax. So this is a great one that I feel, on the list. So number 11, chamomile tea, guys. Now, number 12 is fruit juice. And it's a lot of nice juices. And it looks like they have oranges and lemons and grapefruit, guys, if you're not able to look on with us, with their juice squeezer in the back with the nice glasses. So yeah, you can't go wrong with your fruit juices, guys. Now, different types of fruit juices are available, but 100% fruit juices may be beneficial for anxiety. A study published in 2022 looked at the effects of drinking 100% fruit juices on anxiety, cognition, and depression. So the researchers, using data from over 62,000 adults, found that those who drank fruit juice spent less time feeling anxious during the month. Yeah, I can see that because we drink a lot of apple and orange juice in my home, cranberry, and I feel a lot better instead of drinking the sugary drinks or soda. And guys, I don't drink soda as much, but now I'll tell you guys, in the beginning in December when I started of 2024, I was doing the same thing, 2 shows per week, but I was staying up in the wee hours of the morning doing the shows. So I had a lot of soda, and from time to time, I like to drink it. But yeah, fruit juices is where to go. That's how to do it. And you definitely want to do that, guys. All right, moving along here. Number 13, green tea. Now, this is something that I don't normally drink. I have had it before, but I don't usually do the green teas, but I've heard they're really great. Artwork looks amazing. I love the little nice glass, dishes and cups they've been using. And it looks like they have spoon in the green tea and everything. Isn't that amazing? But yeah, green tea has the highest concentration of theanine compared to other types of tea. Theanine is an amino acid that helps relieve stress, induces relaxation, and works against anxiety. So yeah, that is your green tea, and it looks, like I said, very calming. I'm definitely going to try that. I don't do green tea, but most of the things on the list I do already eat or drink, so I'm good to go. Hopefully you are too as well, right? All right, number 14, guys, the last one. Now, this is like the one that you just cannot go wrong with. And if you're missing out on this, then you're just not human. Water, guys. I had no idea that water reduces stress and anxiety. So, water may decrease anxiety by optimizing brain function. Drinking water helps your brain get nutrients and energy for proper functioning. Don't judge me, guys. I'm not naive. I know water helps with flushing everything out of the body, but I had no idea that if we just drink a glass of water, it might help us out. So that's really good to know. I always know it's to flush all the toxins out and, stay healthy, but I never thought of it as decreasing anxiety. It makes a lot of sense if it's flushing everything out, right? So yeah, that is the list for tonight, guys. Now, I do show, if you keep scrolling, guys, it says foods and drinks to avoid, which this is a good list here as well. Some foods and drinks might worsen your anxiety and its symptoms. And to prevent this from happening, limit your consumption of, like I just said, artificial sweeteners, caffeine, high fat foods, high sugar foods, refined carbohydrates, and sodas. So everything I just stated that I was doing. And I know, guys, it's hard to stay on track with healthy eating and drinking for some of us, right? But let's try to avoid it. We're going to take the plunge, the challenge, because I just told my husband on holidays, especially during Christmas and New Year's and all that, we get a little festive, right? We can have a drink or two. And I think I'm going to shy away from all of that. I don't want to do anything that's going to affect my health, right? And I think you guys should do the same. Let's get on that health kick and let's put ourselves to the challenge and the test, guys. So, a quick review it says here research has linked foods like avocado, oranges, or oysters to reduce feelings of anxiety, guys. So, drinks like water and 100% fruit juice can also be beneficial if you have a lot of anxiety and stress. And I know a lot of us do these days with the new economy, the inflation, our bills, our families, whatever we have going on, all these traumatic and crazy events in the world. I'm sure a lot of us could use some of these helpful tips and drinks and food, right? So, like I said, that's why I wanted to bring this to you tonight, guys, to help out with that. Let's start our week off right. So, yeah, no, those foods and drinks contain antioxidants, it says, minerals and vitamins that help alleviate anxiety symptoms. So, in contrast, high sugar or high fat foods might worsen those symptoms. Be sure to consult a mental health care provider if you need help managing your anxiety. Wow, no, that's just amazing, right? But yeah, I've had so much fun. I enjoyed going over the list and I've enjoyed doing the virtual with you guys tonight. This wasn't so bad. And I know a lot of folk have been saying, "Oh, we want to see you on camera. Well, I would be glad when you get the courage to do your show and I want to see you out there." So here I am, guys, in the flesh. But in all actuality, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a real joy as always. I've had so much fun tonight. And like I said, if you're new, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Go back and binge listen to all episodes. Like I said, all of them besides today are audio, but you are going to enjoy. It's going to be a real treat. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in from around the world, thank you for supporting me and believing in me and just continue to support the show. And of course, any of you faithful listeners, thank you guys for being so supportive and keeping this podcast going. Also, if you are looking to collaborate on the show with me, I've had, like I said, some beautiful guests that have collaborated and appeared on the show from the start of season 2. They have really, really shown out. We've had so much fun. And I know they're going to be so excited to see me on camera finally doing this show. But yeah, guys, one more episode and it'll be the finale of season 2. So I want to start season 3 out with a bang. And I think that I'll feel a little bit comfortable doing this. So maybe season 3 will be all virtual and audio. I told my listeners last week, I was like, I've been doing pretty well with just audio only. I'm getting the downloads. I have people tuning in, and that's all that matters because everybody doesn't want to be on camera all the time. I don't have to be in the limelight, but I did notice that it is the thing, and a lot of folk want to see our faces, those that are on platforms. And, that's a good way to get to know one another. But I feel like I know you guys already. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a real treat. Yeah, but like I said, if you want to collaborate and come on the show, guys, email me at april3802@outlook.com. Do not be shy. You don't have to be a renowned chef, like I always say, to appear on the show. If you're in science, entrepreneurship, art, anything surrounding food, guys. I am pretty open to my guests that come on the show. If you dibble and dabble with food, we can make this show happen, right? So april3802@outlook.com is where you're going to email me. Or if you'd rather use my social handles, I'm on Instagram, and that's at Cooppies, COOPIES, Catering and Seafood. Now also TikTok, and it's at COOPIES.American, or my YouTube channel is April, APRIL, Fontenot 9354, the Let's Talk Food podcast, guys. So you can use any of those platforms, email or social handles, to get a hold of me. And you can also use any of those to leave feedback on the show. Tell me how your day is going. I want to know you guys. I want to get to know who my listeners are and now viewers, right? I know, like I said, I've been doing this about 6 months. I've had downloads over 1,000. I think it's up to like 1.2. And I know that's not a lot, guys, because like I said, I've been doing audio only, kind of like the dinosaur ages. So hopefully this will increase my numbers. And if not, it's okay. I'm still having fun regardless. But yeah, so you can reach me at any of those platforms or my email. And again, that's April, April 3802 at outlook.com. And guys, if you are interested in becoming a podcast host or know of someone that wants to do their own podcast, Podbean is where it's at, guys. And that's what platform is. I started on Podbean and it's taken off like a rocket. It's doing great. But Podbean is where it's at, guys. Podbean PB new is the promo code that's going to be in my show notes, a link that you can click on to get 30 days free, guys. So if you're excited about your business or have a platform that you're wanting to find, well, Podbean's where it's at. And it's 30 days free, guys. It's no harm in that. You're not obligated to stay, a member if you don't like it. Give it a try. They have some good features, AI. You have video, like I'm doing now. You can edit your show. You can choose music. So many great features there, but it's unlimited, guys, for 30 days. So feel free. Again, it's Podbean, PB new, and that'll be in the show notes. And you can click on those links, okay? So if you're a large corporation, you can also promote your ads. We have the unlimited business hosting for 30 days, or if you want to do unlimited hosting, which is the audio and virtual 30 days free as well. So yeah, guys, check those out. I've had so much fun. This has been really, really fun doing a virtual show. And yeah, I did it. Yay. I finally did it. I did it. But yeah, I'm having fun. This is going to be great. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, don't forget to check out those social handles. Check out the movie, guys. And again, that movie is Lucky Girl on Amazon Prime and some other great movies. Go back, new listeners. Binge listen from season 1 on up. Like I said, it's all audio, but some great topics, guest speakers. You're going to love it, guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for checking me out. But yeah, welcome to the Let's Talk Food podcast. It's going to be great. And you guys take care of yourselves. Referring back to the article, 14 foods and drinks that help reduce anxiety and stress fast. If you're having a tough week, like I said, don't let the worldly things get to you, guys. Remember that God has the final say. He is our waymaker, and that's all that matters. Don't be naive. I'm not saying that, but still keep your joy. Check on your loved ones, which I spoke about last episode. People are going through so much. You might need it, helping hand, but reach out to others as well. Let them know how you're doing. And I'm going to do the same. You guys stay safe out there. Have a great week. Enjoy what's left of your 4th holiday weekend and eat that healthy food and good food, and share some of your things on your platforms if you want to tag me in them. Like I said, you'll have everything in the show notes. Don't be so shy, guys. Let me know who you are. I want to hear your great stories, and I'm here for you guys. I love you. And until next time, I'm your host, April Fontenot. You've been listening to the Let's Talk Food podcast. You guys have a great, great holiday weekend and a great rest of your week. And new listeners, the show is every Wednesday and Sunday, so don't miss out. Like I said, every Wednesday and Sunday. If I'm not on video, you can always catch me on the platforms with audio, right? All right, you guys have a great rest of your week, and it's been fun, guys. Peace, light, and love. Have a great night. Bye.